And in this live, we're gonna discuss the tribe of Levi, and we will break down the name Levi or Levi, and we will look into the Bantu etymology. Okay, and we will see that the tribe of Levi is in Africa, right? We are not lost. The so called lost tribes of Israel is a myth. We will never lost. We may have been hidden, but we will never lost. Ingeta, greetings, Chris Matisse. Great to have you here. Mbote to you and your family. So make your presence known in the chat. And yeah, let's invite some people to join us in this live. Like and share. Do all what is needed. And we will start with listening to this guy, Rabbi. What is his name? I always forget his name, right? I always forget his name. His name is Rabbi something. Uh, let me see if I can look it up. Harry Rosenberg, right? Yeah, this is Rabbi Harry Rosenberg, Ashkenazi. But he says something in this interview, what I found very interesting, because there's a lot Jewish people say in the rabbinical tradition about the origin of Judaism and of the Jew, the ancient Israelites, okay, the ancient Yahudim, not the Ashkenazi Jewish people, but the ancient Yehudim. And in that rabbinical tradition, they acknowledge that these people, the ancient Yehudim, that they came from Africa and that they have close ties in the origin and even in the worship of Yahweh with the religion or the light, as they call it, the light and the knowledge of God in Egypt, in Kemet. Okay, so that's from the rabbinical tradition. Okay, it's not my thesis or theory or nothing. It's just, I'm just saying this from rabbinical sources. Okay, there's a lot written about it. And in this short clip, there is this, of course, this guy, Rosenberg, Harry Rosenberg, and he alludes to this fact. Okay, so let's listen to what he says before we continue.
Must have reached there at a certain point of their exile, as we were commanded to do. We were supposed to go to the four corners of the world. That's what the verse says we were supposed to do.
What if someone said that's just sort of the structure of holy temples, and the Israelites took it from someone else?
By the way, Israelites left with a lot of things that were done in ancient Egypt. So that was the reason we went there in the first place, according to the Kabbalah. And this is where the psychedelic lecture comes in, because the reason we had to go into Egypt was to extract these things that they had of light that had fallen there. So
Did you hear that? It says the reason they went to Egypt is to extract the things of light that had fallen there. Okay, let's listen again.
By the way, Israelites left with a lot of things that were done in ancient Egypt.
Israel left, the Israelites left with a lot of things which were done in ancient Egypt, in Kemet. Kemet is Africa, right?
So that was the reason we went there in the first place, according to the Kabbalah. And this is where the psychedelic lecture comes in, because the reason we had to go into Egypt was to extract these things that they had of light that fallen there.
The reason, according to Rabbi Rosenberg, they went to Egypt was to extract the things of light that has fallen there. yes, that had fallen there. So what are those things of light? Those things of light refers to the knowledge of Nzambe Mpongo Tulendo, the knowledge of Yakongo, the knowledge, yes, of the Most High, the Creator of heaven and earth. Those are the things of light. So they say, actually, he's saying that the Kabbalah teaches, right? And the Jewish tradition teaches that in essence, the light, which is the knowledge of the Creator, the knowledge of the Lord of the universe, the Father, Mother of the universe, was found in Egypt because that light, that knowledge fell in Kemet. Hmm? And if you have been following me for a while, you know that we, the Congo people, we understand that Kemet, those who were at the foundation of Kemet, who built the civilization and the spiritual knowledge and wisdom of Kemet, were the Bantu people. Yes, the Anu, who are the Bantu people. Ingeta. So that's just the introduction, and yeah. So let's continue. It's interesting, eh? Now, in this book called Light and Truth, we read, "It is natural and scriptural that the posterity of great men be called after their father, down to the latest generation. The Hebrews are called after Eber, their great father, from whom all the Hebrews descend." And we have done a breakdown of the etymology of Hebrew, right? Eber, Abari. We have, it's online, I believe. So go ahead and look for the video, the etymology of Hebrew, something like that. Yeah, so watch it. The Israelites are called after the great father Israel. And I will also do a video breaking down the name Israel, right? Its connection with Kama and, of course, Congo. Right? What is the true etymology, the true name of, Israelites? Our ancestors were not called Israelite. That's a European term. So one of the terms we use is Yisolele, which means loved and chosen, as we see in the Bible, especially in the book of Exodus and in the book of Isaiah, and that the Most High talks about the fact that He chose Israel and that He loves and formed Israel, loved and chosen. Yisolele in Kikongo means loved and chosen. The Israelites are called after the great father Israel. The Jews, or Yehudim, are descended from Judah or Yahunde, the great father, and are called after him where? In Africa. They are called after him in Africa. And it's another book, Histoire de Luango Kakango, from Abbe Poyart, I think in 1770. And in this book, he writes many things about the culture, the beliefs, and the language of the Congo people in this region, right? The region of Luango, Kakango. You may have heard of the Luango Jews. Those are Congo people. All right. Now, he writes, there is found in the language of the Negro Africans many words pretty much resembling Hebrew words having the same definition. He also gives us a comparisons of words. He goes into deep. It's from the history of Tacitus. Many assured us they, the Israelites, were a race of Ethiopian, that is to say, Cushite, a race of Cushitic origin. Now, Kush always referred to Africa. Let's see. Okay. Now, the Hebrew language might be appropriately called the Israelitis dialect of Canaanites, a branch of the Semitic language. So, the language of the Hebrews, right, the Israelites, is considered a dialect of Canaan. Canaan, once again, is Africa. Yes, the dialect of Canaan, that's to say, an African dialect. And we know the dialect is Kikongo, it's Bantu. Okay, Dr. Ellen H. Goodbay, professor of the Bible at Duke University, says there is no such thing as a Semitic race. We use that term Semitic to describe a type of language and a sort of culture which we can trace using that type of language. And Alfred Louis Kruber, professor of anthropology at the University of California, notes that some scholars find similarities between the Sumerian of early Babylonia and modern African languages. This observation lends some credence to the more specific findings that the dialect of Abraham's family and the Israelites was of African origin. Okay, so once again, we see the connection with the language and the African. So Abbe Proyard is not mistaken, right? In his book of 1770 AD, when he says there is found in the language of the Negro Africans many words pretty much resembling Hebrew words having the same definition. He also says that in that same language of the Negro, they don't only have Hebrew words, but also Greek and Latin words. Yeah, very interesting, because we know from the Bible that the Yehudim were familiar with Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, right? And we have seen also from, for example, the book of Pastor Mello, that he showed the Kikongo roots in Latin. Yes, the Kikongo roots in Latin. A very interesting book where he talks about the Kikongo roots in the Latin language. And the Latin, of course, is the Roman language. Interesting. Okay. Now, here once again, we see from Dictionary of the Bible from 1901. It says the following: the greater part of the Old Testament is written in the language called by the Assyrians the tongue of the West Country, by biblical writers the tongue of Canaan, or Yehudit, by the rabbis the sacred tongue, or the language of the law. The Hebrew language may be appropriately termed the Israelite dialect of Canaan. It says the same thing. Now, dialect of Canaan, that's an African dialect. People, many Hebrew Israelites will reject this fact. They will reject this fact, but it is a fact. And this most of them are European scholars. Even Taxia says the race of the Israelites were Cushite. And we know, of course, in the book of Amos 9:7, it says that the children of Israel are called Cushi. And in the Talmud, a rabbi in the Talmud, there is a commentary that says one of the names where Israel is called is Cushi. Yes, in the Talmud. It's not something that I'm saying, right? It's in the Talmud. I don't know if I have it here, but let's see. Okay, what else can we? Let's look at this. And then in this book, they say Judaism was the religion of the ancient Africans for a long time. Yeah, for a long time. Yeah, here. Yes. Amos 9:7. Are ye not as children, Bene, of the Ethiopians, Cushim unto me, O children of Israel? Right? Are you not as the children of Cush unto me? Cush is the region south of Kemet, up the Nile, which is Upper Kemet. So it's the region downwards, from Kemet down. All that area was called Kush. Yes. The Talmud, you see it, commentary from the Talmud, are ye not like the children of the Cushites to me? And like the Cushite whom ye resemble, as the matter stated. Can a Cushite change his skin? And so how did the ancient Israelites go from being Cushy to Caucasian? Europeans, Ashkenazi. Doesn't make any sense. And so here from the Midrash, from where four were called Cushite, Zipporah and Saul and Israel. Look at that. It's not me. It's a commentary, from the Talmud, the Midrash. It says four were called Cushites, Zipporah, Saul and Israel, and Baruch ben Neriah. Zipporah, which was said about the Cushite woman's speech, Bamidbar, and Saul, which was said about the words of Cush, son of Yamini. The scriptures are there. And Baruch ben Neriah, who is said to be the servant of the Cushites, and Israel, who is said to be the children of Cushite. You are to me the children of Israel. Okay? And Israel. So the rabbi says the term Cushi is also a name for the Israelites. It's not me saying it, not David Kefas, no. The commentary from the rabbis. Okay, so there is a connection with Africa. There is a connection, historical, traditional, rabbinical, and of course, in our Bantu traditional history, oral tradition, and the history that is told, by the elders, by Bantu scholars, and etc. That we are indeed the builders of Kemet, and those who receive the light, which is the knowledge of God. We are the people the book calls Israelites. Okay? So, Umbote Bandeko, if you're excited to receive the message of today, don't forget to like, share, invite some people to join us. I see many are dropping in and out. Maybe you don't like the message. If you do, don't forget to thumbs up this live feed. Okay, thumbs up and share the feed. Let people know Nabi Kefas is live. We are discussing something very important. All right, now, now it's also something salvation, but that's not our discussion. Let's see, do I have something else? Yes, I do. So talking about Kush, right? Yes. When we look at the word Kushi, remember that the letter Vav, right? Vav or Vav in the Hebrew can have the vocalization of U or O, as you can see here. Yes. So it can be vocalized as a U, but also as a O. So when you have Kusi, it can also be Kosi. Kosi in the Kikongo language and in Zulu, it means king. King, Lord, master. It can also mean lion. Yeah. So Kosi can also have the definition of lion king. Isn't that amazing? The same as Simba. Yeah? Simba also means lion. It can mean strong man, a champion. But it can also mean lion. So we have Nkosi, which means king, lord, master, chief, But Nkosi can also mean king or lion. Look at that. So Nkusi, Kosi. The Kusi are the Nkosi of the Most High. We are the people anointed, called, chosen to be priest and king. So in the word Kusi, we have the hidden identity. Kosi, which means the kings. Therefore, when you look into your Bible, if we go with the tradition of the, maybe it's not tradition, but what did we say? The law of first mention, right? And they call Christ, they call the Most High, the Alpha and Omega, the Aleph and Tav, the beginning and end. Whatever we find at the beginning is what we will find in the end, in the conclusion of the era, in the conclusion of this age. You understand? So God is revealed in the beginning, and He will be also at the end, because everything will conclude with the Most High. So His people is also revealed in the beginning, and it will be also the era and the age will also conclude with the people. Therefore, we are told to preach the good news of the kingdom, which is the good news of, of us, who we are, and etc. And then the end will come. Matthew 20, I think Matthew 24, verse 14. And then the end will come. Now that's the end of an era. Okay. That's not the end of the world, but the end of an era, because the righteous will inherit the earth forever. It's the end of an era. So whatever is in the beginning will be also found in the end. So the Alpha and Omega. Congo is the Alpha and the Omega. You understand? We were the king in the beginning of time. And we will once again be the king with the conclusion of this era. Yes, the end of the reign of Esau. And the nations. It's a shame that most people do not get this revelation. They don't get the revelations that we teach and reveal on this channel. It's a shame. As it is written, the secret of the kingdom is given to you, right? The mysteries of the kingdom. God has secrets. There are mysteries. But many don't want to receive these secrets, these mysteries. We are concerned with other things. Yeah. Some people just, they are, even though you are awakened and you understand that you are the Israelite the Bible speak of, I believe most of us still have a long way to go, because there is a connection, undeniable link of the Israelites, the Hebrews the Bible speaks of, with Africa, the Congo people. And the Congo people are all Bantus in Africa. So if you consider yourself Israelite, you have to be part of the Congo people, the Bena Congo. Those are the Israelites the Bible speaks of. Those are the king and priest. Yes, Nkosi, from the word Cush. And there's another rabbi who said that in Cushi, yes, in Cushi is hidden God, the Messiah, and his people. In the word Cushi, this rabbi says, is hidden, yes, God, the Messiah, and his people, and they are black. And they are black. They are Cushi. Amazing. So there's a lot. Okay, are you liking it thus far? Make your present know in the chat. Let me know you're here, you're watching, you're enjoying it. Yeah, something went wrong. I was kicked out of the stream. Yes, I was kicked out of the screen, but I'm back. I'm back. So, can you guys hear me? Yes, can you guys hear me? Yeah. So, as I was saying, um, it's sad. Many of our people were calling themselves Hebrew Israelites, what etc. Some say Africans are Hamites. Yeah, there's no connection at all. Some are now coming to that realization. Yeah, others, of course, always believe there was a connection with Africa. But the majority doesn't want to go deep into the Bantu traditions and culture. But anyway, you know, now, beloved people, we are going to Angola. Yes, you can come along. I'm going to Angola July 14 up to 23. I'm inviting you. Come with me to Angola. Explore Angola with me. And by doing so, you, of course, also meet me in real life. We will have a good time. Africa is the future. Africa is the promised land. And Angola is a beautiful land. It's developing very fast. It's one of the richest country in Africa, in GDP, but also in natural resources. And so, if you're interested, make sure to join me. And we're not just visiting; we're also doing something in Angola, right? We are building a diaspora community in Angola. If you're interested to have a place in Africa, I'm inviting you to join me in this project. We have 32 acres of land, which we are developing into a community of diasporan in Africa. And we are also building businesses. Okay, so it's not just having a land and build a house within the community. It will be a gated community, which will guarantee safety, and communal living as diasporian in Angola. Angola is part of Congo, of course. It is a part of the promised land, the land of the Most High, given to our ancestors as an inheritance forever. Yes, forever. And no one can kick us out of the land. They can kill us, prosecute us, but they will never get the land because it is given as inheritance to us through our fathers forever. Forever, ever. And so you can join me in this project. I'm, of course, not alone in this project. We have brothers from the diaspora who are involved, and, of course, sisters who are involved. We are doing something great. Yes. So we build a community. We also establish businesses because it's good to have businesses in Africa. In that way, we partake in the economic growth and we provide also jobs as we establish businesses. And we are leaving Babylon behind. As the Bible says, get out of Babylon. So you need to be prepared. Are you prepared? Babylon will fall, is falling. We see the West declining, and they are doing the best to reconquer Africa because they need Africa. But the prophecy says the West will fall and Africa is already rising. So it's the day and it's the time to be involved in a project of the Exodus. And it's not just in community building, it's also an Exodus project as we are coming out. So you can join me. Email me to angolainvestmentgroup.com if you're interested in our diaspora community in this Exodus project. If you're interested in visiting Angola with me, you can email to info at Angola Investment Group, and it will be my pleasure and honor to have you with us, with the trip or with the project. Mbote, 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 bandeko. I hope you are doing well. Another spirit of Yah Congo is with all of you wherever you are in this world. Ingeta, Ingeta, Ingeta. So for those who came in late, once again, my greetings. Nusiemi. Make your present known in the chat. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. If you are enjoying the lesson, type a 1 or a thumbs up in the chat so I know that you're with me and that we are together. Kimbo. Now, the name Levi, right? Levi. Now, let's look at the name Levi and let's trace its Bantu etymology. We have laid the foundation, and I have showed you that the language of the Israelite, right, the ancient people, was considered a dialect of Africa. Yes, and one writer even says that the dialect of the language of Abraham's family or their language was an African language, right? Now, that African language is Kikongo. Kikongo is the original Paleo Hebrew of today. It's the Paleo Hebrew, right? Paleo Kikongo is the Paleo Hebrew. Okay, Mbote. So let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the chat or a 1 if you love what we are discussing right now. Ingeta. Nzambi azolokumu. Now, Levi, according to scripture in Genesis, not get, look at this, get. No, it's Genesis 29, verse 32. Okay. We read, and she conceived again. We're talking about Leah, right? Leah. There's actually a verse in, where's that verse? I forgot. Now, when it comes in my mind, I will share. But she, Leah, conceived again and bare a son and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I bore him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. Yes, Levi. Now, when we look at the word Levi, Strong's H 3878, Levi, it means joined. Yes, from the root lava, which means join, lend, cleave, unite, to remain, also to borrow as a form of obligation. Now let's go and verify, right? Let's go and verify. If I'm right, right? Some people say, "Oh, Nabi's making all those things up," right? It's pseudo scholarship. He's making all these things up. Bandeko. People are coming with all kinds of, arguments just to deny, that we, the Bena Congo, are the Israelites. Okay. And that the secrets, the light, as this rabbi said, came from Africa, not from the Jewish people, right? And actually, if we look into the actual history, there is no Jewish people who were the glory of the world, who had the light, right? The light which all people came to receive. There is no historical fact or record of Israelites, right, in Canaan, the land of Palestine. being the light of the world, that the whole world came unto them to be taught, to be educated. There is no historical record whatsoever. It's all fake. Yeah. So what are you clinging on? But karma. Okay. When you talk about karma, there we see a historical record that karma had the light of Nzambi of Yakongo. Yes. Who are called Israelites in scripture. Yisolele. And that the world came there to be educated, to receive that light. And that's the thing this guy is saying here.
So that was the reason we went there in the first place, according to the Kabbalah. And this is where the psychedelic lecture comes in, because the reason we had to go into Egypt was to extract these things that they had of light that had fallen there. So
to extract the things of light that had fallen there were in karma. In karma. Yes. Not in Israel, in the so-called state of Palestine, right? In the geographic location of Palestine. No, not there. There is no significant archaeological historical proof of a mass exodus to Palestine, nor an existence of a united kingdom of the Jews in that region. There is none. Yes, it's just hopeful thinking of people who believe the narrative, right, of Israel being in that locality. But there is actually no archaeological historical proof of a mass exodus of people from Egypt to Palestine and of a united kingdom in that area in Palestine. There is none. But if you go with the narrative though of the Ashkenaz, of the Mundele Kadiyapemba, that's what you would believe. The narrative of the Greeks, that's what you would believe. Anyway, Levi means to be joined. As you can see here, Levi, right? Levi, from Levi, right? From Levi, that's the root right there, attached. Leva, as you can see here, Leva or Leva, primitive root. Yes, look at this etymology, right? Root word. Did they just say a primitive root? They have no idea where it comes from. They say, oh yeah, it's a primitive root. Okay, where does it come from? To join, to blend, to join, be joined, to join, attached, to join oneself, be joined unto, to borrow, yes, etc. Strong's definition: lava, primitive root, probably to twine, by implication to unite, to remain, also to borrow as a form of obligation, etc. Yes. Jusinius Hebrew called a lexicon to adhere, to be joined closely to anyone. Yes. Okay. Now we have done the verification. Yes, so where is it? Now we can continue, right? All right. So the Hebrew word lava, which is the root, as we have seen. Yes, from lava. Levi from lava, which is the root, etymological root. The Hebrew word lava is the Kikongo leva. Okay, leva or lewa. To swear an oath, to lend, or to be joined to attach oneself to. Now, the definition of the Kikongo is very, actually quite the same, right? As the definition what we have seen from the root word leva or lava, join, lend, cleave, unite, remain, also to borrow as a form of obligation. We see the Kikongo word leva or lewa, to swear oath, to lend, to be joined to attach oneself. Yes, to attach oneself. Now, the Levi priests are the heart of the community, as they were the heart of the spiritual foundation of the communities in teaching the divine laws, which are also called kondiminzambi or Congo. Yes, teaching the divine laws of God to the people. Now, the Hebrew word for heart, that's interesting. The Hebrew word for heart in the Masoteric text is lebab. Okay, lebab. Here's the reference, the Strong's reference. In the Kemetic Bantu, it's leb, right? It's leb. It's like that. It's leb in the Kemetic Bantu. Now, in Kikongo, we have the word lemba. You see this? In Kikongo, we have the word lemba. Amazing. We see the same formation of the letters, right? If we remove the M, we have leba. What we also see here, okay, in the Hebrew Masoretic text, the strong, leba. The B at the end is silent, so we don't pronounce that, right? In the Bantu, so it's leba in Kikongo, leba. Now leba in the Kikongo will give us lemba, right? So give us lemba. Look at that. Now, of course, most of you are familiar with the so-called Lemba Jews of Zimbabwe, right? Of South Africa. Oh, the Lemba Jews. Have you heard about the Lemba Jews? Mundele, they are specialized in, how to say that, creating divisions among brothers, okay? Mundele Kadiampemba specialized in creating divisions among brothers. So you will say, oh, yeah, the Lemba Jews, the Jewish people have acknowledged them as being part of the Jewish family, etc., etc. And you will say, oh, in Africa, they are Jews. And you say, like, the Lemba Jews, the Igbo Jews, because the Mundele Kadiampemba approved, right? And they will say, oh, yes, those are the Jews, African Jews in Africa. No, all Bantu are part of that family. And we are the true Isolele. We are the true ancient Israelites the book speaks of. You understand? You have nothing to do with the Jewish converts of Ashkenazi. We have nothing to do with them. We are not the same. We are the original light that fell upon this earth. The original, authentic people. But we have the synagogue of Satan, who presents themselves as Yehuda, but they are not. Yes, and one day, according to prophecy, they will bow at your feet and recognize you and say, yes, you are Bena Congo. You are the people. They know, but one day they will publicly have to admit to the people You guys are the Bena Congo, Bena Nzambi, the children of light, the children of truth, children of the Most High God. We tried so our best to eradicate you guys from the face of the earth. But what the Most High blessed, no man can curse. When the Most High said, "Thou shalt live," who can say? Who can take their life? Hmm? Who can fight against a people if the Most High said, "Thou shalt live"? Mm-hmm. Come on now. Come on, people. Huh? Like and share this video. Let people know. Now be careful. In Kosi's life, it's moto moto. Fire, fire. It's fire in the house. So we are the original people. There's no doubt. Okay? There's no doubt. We are not confused. Some people say these Africans are confused. We are not confused. But we are being established in our identity because of the century long, how do you say that? Brainwashing, right? Yes, in Christian sects. Whether it is Pentecostal, Protestant, evangelical, Baptist, whatever denomination, it's a Christian sect. The Most High, in this age and time, as we're living in a time as this, is giving revelation, light, so that we can come out of the darkness, out of that sickness. So Christianity and all the foreign religion, they took away from us our identity. Okay? They took away the traditions of our ancestors, because when you convert and you give yourself to a religion, you receive the culture of those people. Okay? You assimilate spiritually to the spirit that rules over them. You become, even though you're black, Emundele in spirit, because you receive their tradition, their theologies, right? Their ways of doing things. So your whole mind becomes foreign to the mind and knowledge of your ancestors. Therefore, the Apostle Paul in 2 Timothy, what is it? 2 Timothy 1 verse 3 says, I thank God who I serve from my ancestors. Yes, he knows that the only God you can serve is the God of your ancestors. You cannot attach yourself spiritually to a God of foreign people. Yes, it's spiritual suicide. It's also spiritual divorcement from the blessings which lies in the bloodline of your fathers. So you separate yourself spiritually when you convert to foreign religions. A people serve the God of their ancestors. That's why every people needs to know, especially we as Bantu, we need to know our traditions and not follow Christianity, not follow Judaism, not follow, any foreign religion and their ways. That's what the prophets mean when they say, "Return, Israel, return, Yisolele, return," because we went out of the way. We need to return. So we see leb, right, which means heart, or leba in Hebrew, right? We don't pronounce the B at the end, so it's leba. Amazing. In the Kikongo, we have the word lemba. Lemba means to be calm, to appease, right? Is that not what a priest does? To appease, right, between two parties? To pacify, to abstain. A priest abstains himself from certain things. Hmm? Isn't that so? Lembama, humility, gentleness, and civilization, right? Civilization, look at that. Civilization came from Congo Cachopa. It came from Africa, not from Europe, no, not from Arabia. No, civilization, ancient civilization came from Africa, and that civilization was the foundation that built all the other civilizations that follow after. Yes, it roots Africa, Congo Cachopa, Nile Valley, Lembeke, civilized. Yes, Lembeke, all have the root LEM or LEB, right? LEB from Leb. Yes. So we have Lemba, Lembama, Lembeke. All right. Now the word leva or lewa in Paleo Hebrew, the V or the Vav or Vav and B, which is bet in Hebrew, right? The B, bet in Hebrew are interchangeable, as in Bantu dialects. So V can be B. You get it? It's not that difficult to understand. So leva can be leba. Look at that. Leva can be leba, to induce, to entice. In the Kikongo, leba, lebi, lobi also means to love someone and pray for them, as someone who is a priest, priesthood. So leba, lebi, lobi also means to love and to pray for someone. Isn't that amazing? Yeah? And as we have seen, leva or leva, the fee in Paleo Hebrew rules is interchangeable with be, bet. Okay. So, for example, nabi, let me put it here. Nabi can therefore also be navi. You understand? So nabi can also be navi. So we have leva, which will become leba, yes, which is a Kikongo word also. And we have variation of leba, lebi, lobi. And in Suriname, the African children of Suriname, right, those who were taken as slaves, in the Sranang Tongo, in the Creole language, they also have the word lobby for love. Yes, so that shows a connection with the Kikongo language among the African Suriname people. And there are many. And so lobby means to love, as it does in the Creole language of the African Surinames in South America. So we have leva in Africa. Okay, there was a town in Kemet called Malawi. Can you believe it? You can Google it. But there was a town in Kemet, maybe it's still there, named Malawi. Malawi, which is spelled exactly the same as the Bantu country called Malawi in southern Africa, right? Africa, Congo Cachopa. Now, there is Lebe, Lebi, Leve in Gabon, in Cameroon, in Congo, in South Africa, in Ivory Coast, and Somalia. We also have in Kenya, Leva. We have in Mali, Leva. In Congo DRC, we have Malemba. And the city of Kinshasa was also called Mbanza Lemba, which means city of peace. Eh? What is Jerusalem called? Let me. What is Jerusalem called, beloved? Bandeko. What's the meaning of Jerusalem? Yeru, which means city, right? Salem, which is also Bantu. Salema, or Salembe, or Salam. So interesting, the city of Kinshasa was also called Banzalemba, which means city of peace. And then we have, of course, the country called Malawi. Malawi, which means Levi, right? So we have the country called Malawi, which means Levi. Amazing. Now, there are Levites who have Egyptian names. We have Hophni. We have Hur, however you want to pronounce it. We have Merari, which is Morari in the Bantu, or Balari. And so you have a Bantu tribe in Congo called Balari, which is Merari. We have Mushi, Phineas, and of course Moses, the prince himself. And we are told in Acts 7, verse 22, that this Moses was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptian, right? The Kemites. Let's put an emphasis in all the wisdom. What does all mean? What does all mean? So he was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Now this highlights how Moses, a Levite, right, was steeped in Kemetic culture and knowledge. This includes the language. You understand? And the language, why? This includes the language. Very interesting. Why is that interesting? Now, because, because what we said, no, where is it? That's not it. Maybe here. Yes. Yes. Here. And there's found in the language of the Negro Africans many words pretty much resembling Hebrew words. This Jesuit, right, in his book, it actually says that the Congo people speak Hebrew. And then we are told that the Hebrew language is a Canaanite dialect. And here, a quote from Stephen Jacobs in his book, he says that the language of Abraham's family and the Israelite was of African origin. Okay? Of African origin. So we are not adding, we are not detracting, we are just bringing out facts, revelations, right? Mysteries. We are revealing those things which were hidden. So the Bantu people may be enlightened, right? The Bena Congo, the children of God, may be enlightened. Archaeological and scholarly view. Some scholars, like Egyptologist Donald Redford or biblical historian Richard Elliot Friedman, have suggested that the Levites may have had a separate Egyptian Kemite origin or influence, possibly arrived in Canaan later than other tribes. Friedman's the Exodus theory even proposes that the Levites were originally a group of Kemites, right, Egyptian origin, who brought Yahweh worship into Canaan and merged with native Israelite. Now, it's interesting that what he says here, the Levites were originally a group of Egyptian origin, right? Kemites. Now, look at this. The same is said of the Israelites themselves, right? Here in the history of Tacitus, he says, many assured us they, the Israelites, were a race of Ethiopian, right? Ethiopian, which is Cush or Kushim, yeah? And a race of Ethiopian origin. Now, Cush is, of course, Africa, right? Ethiopian is a Greek term. The Hebrew is Cush. The Kikongo is Kuzi. But as I showed you the revelation of the word Cush, what it's hide, you see, Kusi is Kosi. Kosi is king, is lord, is master. Kosi can also refer to lion, right? As Simba refers to lion. So the true lion king are the Kusi, Benakusi, who the Bible called the Israelites. Those are the Bantu people. Come on. Come on, Benacongo. Ingeta. Yes? Are we making sense here? Let me know in the chat. Are we making sense? Huh? Yahweh is Yakongo. And we did a breakdown. Yes, in the Tetragrammaton, there's a hidden name. Yes, there's a hidden name in the so-called Tetragrammaton, Yud He Vav He. And the hidden name is Yah Congo. Yah Congo. Yah, which is a name for God, it also means the elevated one or the great one, the honorable one. Yes. Congo is a name for God, for the people, for the land, for the language, and for the tradition. Yes, the holy tradition, which is called Bukongo. Are you getting it? Do you get it? So the people who are called by my name, which is Congo. So in the Tetragrammaton, there's a hidden name. So the Tetragrammaton in reality is a trigram. Yes, which gives us Yah Congo. Amazing revelation. So the revelation of Yahweh, right? Yud He Vav He is actually Yah Congo. Is Yah Congo. That revelation is of the Benalemba. You understand? It's of the Benalemba. Because we are called the kings and priests. We, in this world, we are the kings and priests of the Most High. That's the reason the first kings and priests and the light of the world all came from where? Africa. Yes. Not the Jewish. No. No. Not the Arabians. No. 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 Africa. Kushi. Yes, the children of the book, Akushi, they are black. They are Africans, the Negroes from the continent of Africa. Always have been. So the revelation of Yakongo is of the Benalemba. Yes, the children of peace, children of the covenant, the children of the oath. These are the Benakongo, the children of the Most High, who are girded with the belt of truth around the waist. Yes, and they they is that if I spell that correctly, diagonally crossing the chest. Yeah. Now there is a movie. There's a new movie. It's called. Let me see. It's not a movie. It's actually a series. It's called, I believe, House of David. If you haven't seen this one, it's a good one. It's a good one. But Mundele Kadiampemba. I'm looking for a scene. Oh, too bad it's not. It's nowhere to be found. But in this scene, you will see this guy, right, David. He's girded, yes, around the waist and diagonally running across his chest. Yes, you can see it here, diagonally running across the chest and then, around the waist. As you see here, around the waist. You see here a little one like forming an X. Man, dit is Congo. Dit is Congo. So they took from the Bena Congo. Okay? They took from the Bena Congo to steal our identity, to steal our culture. They took many things from the Bena Congo. Many things. Yes. So that's the revelation. Comes from the Bena Lemba. From the Bena Lemba. And they are the Bena Congo. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Because we are girded. We are the girded ones. Now, this is from a book called In the Beginning, Bukongo. Okay, from my professor, Dr. Luyaluka. Yes, I miss him. He passed away this year. But in this book, he says he talks about the religion of our ancestors. Okay, talk about the religion, and in the section of the Bomitabas, he says the Bomitabas are a Bantu ethnic group found in the Likuala department in the northern part of the Republic of the Congo. In their practice of African traditional religion, this Bantu erect traditional temples. Such a temple is called Mokote Vanga, which literally means the house of power and spirit. The Mokote Wavanga is located in a secret forest called Angola. Wow, Angola. Angola was also the title of the king of Angola. right? Angola can be pronounced Angola or Nkola. And many people in South Africa know and have the tradition that they came from Kola, which is part of the great kingdom of Congo. Anyway, the architecture of this temple offers the attendees with a courtyard and a building that includes a lounge accessible to everyone and a room called Musoko accessible only to the initiates. Now, those initiates are the priest and the high priest. Okay, those are the initiates, the priest and the high priests, who we have seen, of course. The high priest comes from Levi, right? Leva or Leva. In the lounge burns a fire that must never be extinguished. Now, that lounge is what we call, in the Bible, is called, yeah, that open space where you have the altar, right? The altar, the bronze altar. That's what it's called here, identified as the lounge. And upon that altar, as the Bible tells us, descended a fire from heaven. And the Israelites, right, in the Bible were told, instructed not to let it cease, but that it continues to burn forever. We see here the same thing. We see three quarters. Yes, we have the open area, we have the holy, and the holies of holy, as described in the Bible. So there is a tradition, yes, and history of a temple with exact architectural division as described in the Bible among the Bantu and, of course, in Kemet, right, in Kama, in Egypt. Very interesting. Um, yeah. I wanted to say something. It slipped my mind. Anyway, so the name for Levi or Levi, right? The true Bantu name for Levi is Leva, Lebi. And they are, of course, you as a Bantu, you may recognize this name also in your own Bantu dialect. Yes, Leva, or Lewa. Lewa can also mean to wash, to purify. And that is an activity of the priest, right? As purifiers, those who purify the people by the word and by their ceremonies, rituals, right? Purify the people spiritually. They sanctify them through the words, actions, suggestions, and ceremonies, right? Practices. Now, I have posted the link over there. If you are here, you want to contribute, there's something you want to say, maybe you have something you want to add. You are welcome to come in and share your knowledge, share your comment or whatever. But if you come in respectful, of course, as well always, and come with sense, come with knowledge. If you have nothing to say, just stay right there. Okay? But if you have value to add on everything we have said thus far, you are more than welcome to come in. The link is there. And contribute to our learning. Yes, and knowledge. Ingeta, Kembu, Natatanzambe. As we wait to see if there are anyone who wants to join, if not, we done, right? Let me replay the words of Rabbi Harry Rosenberg.
must have reached there at a certain point of their exile, as we were commanded to do. We were supposed to go to the four corners of the world. That's what the verse says we were supposed to do.
What if someone said that's just sort of the structure of holy temples, and the Israelites took it from someone else?
By the way, Israelites left with a lot of things that were done in ancient Egypt. So that was the reason we went there in the first place, according to the Kabbalah. And this is where the psychedelic lecture comes in, because the reason we had to go into Egypt was to extract these things that they had of light that had fallen there. So
the things of light that has fallen there. Now, those things of light are the knowledge, right? The revelations of the Most High. They did not fall in Palestine. They did not fall, right, in the desert. They were there in Egypt, in Kama. Yes, with the Bakongo, the Congo people, the Bantu people. They were there. Come on, people. Ingeta. Now, I believe there's no one who wants to enter and share the knowledge or commentary. So, Matondo Bena Congo. Once again, I invite you to join me to Angola. And let's explore Angola together. It's a beautiful country, growing economically very fast. A lot of investment opportunities there. Of course, we will enjoy and have a great time together. It's also a opportunity to meet me live, and in real person. I'm even greater, right? We're also building the diaspora community. Yes, as we know, we have to exodus Babylon, as scripture says, flee, come out of her, get out. So we need to go somewhere. And you cannot just pack up your things and leave. No, we have to prepare. Yeah, so it's the preparation. We have at this moment around 32 acres of land, which we are developing for the diaspora community. You can be part of it. Yes, join us and many others who already have their plot, the piece of land within this secure community. And we will have many things here. We will have, economic center, schools. We will have a sport area where you can enjoy some sport activities, communal swimming pool, etc. And we're also establishing businesses, right? Because it's important to have a business, to establish a business in Africa, in the motherland. Because as we are going back, we're not returning to be employed, but we are returning to build. Okay. So we will not just have land and build our house, but we also build businesses. And we, as a group, as an investment group, we assist all the diasporan who have an idea. Even if you don't have an idea, we can use your skill, your experience, whatever you have accumulated in the West to be part of what we're doing in Angola, right? To be a crucial player in the creation and establishment of businesses where you can be employed or as a trainer, of whatever. There is a lot of possibilities. So, are you interested in building with us in this diaspora community, in this Exodus project? Email me. Also, if you are interested in the trip, you want to go with me to Angola, there is still some time, right, to decide. July 14. So join me. Send your email to info@Angola Investment Group. It will be my pleasure to have you with us. So we give all praise and honor to the Most High. Tunzamba mpungu tulendo. Baba Mungu. Ne Kongo Kalunga. Yes. All praises to the Most High. Matondo for watching. I am Nabi Kefas. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider to subscribe. Become a member on Patreon, where I have some more teachings which are not here on YouTube. And on Patreon, you also have a link so you can always be part of the live classes I host. All right, but you have to be a subscriber on Patreon. You can be a free supporter or a paid supporter on Patreon. I will appreciate if you consider the last, but I don't know your financial situation, okay? But anyway, go there to my Patreon page. Link is in the description box below, and I hope to see you there. Until we meet again, may Congo reign. Ingeta.